Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with me, and I get my phone around here. We're going to try to answer a few more questions this week. I'm going to start doing this, the question and answer, probably every other Friday. Instead of every Friday, I'll do it every other Friday. That way it'll give us just a little bit of time to get the questions up and a little bit of time for me to prepare for them. And also, if I need to do research, it'll give me some time to do research. Okay, let's see what questions we had this week. And I'm only pulling the questions that were under the video, the question and answer video from last week. So if you actually had a question but you forgot to put it under that video, I either have already answered it or I didn't pick it up. So let's see. There was a lot of really sweet comments about my husband's health and my testimony that I gave and that kind of thing, and I really appreciate that. Let's see, let me find one. Okay, here's one. This is from TRAYKWIS. I'm not going to try to say a lot of these names because I have no clue how some of them are pronounced. I don't know if my camera is actually straight or not. It might be a little crooked. Hold on. Okay. She says, I like your demo videos. They're easy to follow. I want to know, how come we never see you when you do videos? And I did answer her a little bit, but I told her that I was a little bit camera shy, and I probably am. But the other thing is, I don't think you want to see my face the way it is some days, because I work from home or from my shop, which is behind my house, and a lot of times I just go to work in my PJs, and I don't do up, I don't put a lot of makeup on, I don't do my hair and that kind of thing. So some days you probably would not want to see me, but I will get on camera here before long. I promise I will. I am just kind of working my way up to it. I'm not one to really, I can think of all kinds of things to say with my hands, and I can talk to you all day long in person, but I'm not one to talk too much when I know the camera is on my face for some reason. So, but I will get some of those done, and thank you for that question. Let's see, what else we got here? This is from Scottish Covenanters, COTTISHCOVENANTERS. If that is you, here is one of your questions. She had quite a few questions. I would like to know what parchment paper is used for in card making compared to using regular cardstock. Okay, that's a good one. Parchment paper used. I am not sure. I don't use parchment paper, so I'm not real sure about that one, but I will be happy to look it up. Or if any of you know the answer to that one, then please go under her question and give her the answer to that. That would be wonderful. But I will definitely look that up from this week to next week. I'm making me a note right now. Parchment paper. I won't say I've never used parchment paper, but I do not use parchment paper on any card making. So we will look that one up and have it for you next week. And if you know the answer and you wouldn't mind sharing that with her, then go under her question and give her an answer to that, please. Okay. She also had this question. Are there better mats than Ink Central craft mats that are not so flimsy? You mentioned that it feels like we are there with you when you are doing these videos. That is how I feel with you. I am sure that everyone feels that way also when they are watching. Well, thank you so much. I do feel like you guys are here. I feel like you're in the room with me. That is one of the reasons why I enjoy doing these so much. Not only that I get to teach somebody something that hopefully they would like to learn, but I also get, let me turn my phone off, I'm sorry about that. But I also feel like that you're here with me, and you know, sometimes when I'm by myself, I do these videos, and it makes me feel like that I'm not alone. Okay, the craft mat that I love is this one right here that's under this, and it is just about worn out. I've got to get another one. Excuse me, I'm sorry. This is from Tech Tools, and what it is it is a healable mat that you can get from Walmart or any place like that where they have sewing supplies. So really it's made for the people, the seamstress people who sew a lot. But I love this because it does have these 1-inch blocks on it, has all your measurements, and it's not way too big. But I have just about worn this thing out. I'm telling you, it's had it. But I also keep this mat on top. Well, I keep this mat down there. This is a non-skid mat. It won't slide. This is a Tim Holtz mat, and it does slide a lot. So I don't like that part about it, but I love the part that I can just wipe it off with a damp cloth, and it's fine. I can use sprays on here, inks on here, whatever. I can just wipe it off, and it's good. But I don't like the part that it slides. This is a Ken Oliver mat. It doesn't slide, but you can't wipe it off as well because it has kind of a, I don't know what kind of surface it is, but glue, glitter and things like that stick to it. So, you know, I don't like that part about it, but I just keep it under there in case I need to use it. And it puts a little bit more cush on when I'm stamping and that kind of thing. But when I want to cut something with my craft knife, then I always flip over this and cut, because this is a healable mat. But the best thing to do is just go to your local Walmart or sewing center, something like that, and find a mat from them, because that's the best ones, the ones that seamstress use. And like I said, this is TECH Tools, Tech Tools. And this is an 18 by 24. You mentioned that your work surface, I think, is only 24 inches wide. So this would work well for you. And if you wanted a longer one, they have bigger ones than this. I just got this one because this is as large as I needed. But they do have larger ones than this. They have them that go all the way up to probably 5 foot, you know. But these are the ones that I like. They're not flimsy. Let me see if I can pull it up. It's been down there so long. It is good, nice and thick. It's not a flimsy mat. Okay, I hope that answered that question for you. Alright, we have another one from Leslie, SCHADT. And she says, does the art glitter glue leave a shiny surface when dries? The art glitter glue that I know of does not leave a shiny surface. This dries clear, so therefore there's usually not anything shiny on here. Let's see if I can find a place on here that I actually got some glue on the outside, because I am really bad about putting too much glue. Okay, I know right in here yesterday I got too much glue on there and it squirted out on that side, and as you can see, there's nothing there. It doesn't show at all. I've used this for a couple of years now, and I have never seen, after it dries, I've never seen any place on my product that has had a shiny effect on there. And I know what you're talking about. Sometimes the Scotch Quick Dry glue will leave a real shiny place on your photos or whatever if you get it on them, but I have never known this to do that. Okay, let's see what else we got. Okay, this is also from Scottish Covenanters. I'm sorry, I'm probably butchering these names. I really apologize. She has another couple of questions. One is, I'm looking for a fairly large mat to wear. Oh, well, that was the mat thing. Okay. Let's see what her other one is. And then she says, also is the Ranger Ink Central Mat a must-have for working with inks, glues, and such. It looks like you use one or a type like that. Do you prefer one brand over another? Oh, thank you so much for that comment. That's sweet. I love my Ranger mat. This is my second one. The other one I used to death, and as you can see, this one I've got some nicks out of it. You can get some of these mats that are just similar to this from, I don't know, Amazon, or there's places in town that carry them. Any place that carries the baking, baking supplies, where you, a baking sheet, that's basically what this is. Now, I would say this is pretty useful and almost a must-have if you're going to do a lot of inks, a lot of sprays, a lot of wet materials, that kind of thing, because it does just wipe right off and it cleans up. If you was to try to spray, on this, or put your inks or anything down on this, it's going to stain it and it's going to soak into it because of it being a healable mat, because it has pores on it. This one it's a non-porous surface, so everything is going to sit right on top of it where you can wipe it right off. But like I said, if you don't want to put the money in the Ranger one, they're, I don't know, $9 or $10, which is not bad for this, I don't think. And this one I've kept probably, this is my 3rd year on this one, and it's still in pretty good shape. If you can just remember not to cut on them, because it will cut. But if you don't want to do, order a Ranger mat, if you just go to town, to Hobby Lobby, someplace like that has baking supplies, and go over and find a mat that is good for baking. It'll say something about you can bake cookies on them and that kind of thing. That's basically the same thing this is. They're a little bit cheaper made, but it's just basically the same thing. So yes, if I was going to do a lot of inking, spraying, that kind of thing, I would definitely invest in one of these, because you will not regret it. I promise you will not. Judy Hatton says, I love your videos. I learned something new on just about every one. Well, thank you. I'm so glad that you do. How many people do you have working for you? Well, let's see. I have 3 here at the shop, at the physical shop. And then I have, let's see, I think we're up to 10 admins now. They work for me as well, so I think there's 10 of those. I have one that does, I have 2 that does the buying for us, and then I have 2 that loads the albums. I have one that actually works up the estimates or the invoices. I have one that does all she does. Cindy, she does all of our media for us. In other words, if you see a post out there about scrapbooking with me, or if you get a newsletter or anything like that, that comes, Cindy works all of those up, and she puts all of that out there. So she is our media person. And then Jennifer is kind of like our tech person, and then she also loads everything on the .com and kind of keeps it up to date. And let's see, Tammy and Christina do the buying, and they are our buyers, and they also load the albums for us. So they load the new products in, they go out and they stalk these vendors, and they find out when they're going to have new product that's coming out, and they post on there and let you know when new products are coming up. And let's see, and then we have a couple of new ladies. We have trying to think of everybody. Tantalea, she's not new, she's been with me a little over a year. She does the estimates and that kind of thing. She keeps all of that up to date. She works on our she works on kind of the book side of everything, keeping all the numbers and everything up. And then we have a couple of new ladies that are doing just some various things. We have Robin and Pepper, who actually they're like our cheerleaders. They go out there and post things to kind of keep some action going in the members room, and keeping questions going, and just keeping everybody up to date on things, on new items. So yeah, there's about 10 altogether that work for me, and then we have 3 here, so about 13 or 14 people that we have. Now all of those 10 admins are not here. They're all over the United States and Canada. Tammy works from Canada, and then the other ladies are all over the United States. So the only people that we actually have in-house are the 3 of us. And those are the only ones that are actually right here. The rest of them work online. Okay, let's see. She had another question. Let me go back to it. How is your husband's health now? His health is really good right now. He does have congestive heart failure, so that's something that he's going to have to face the rest of his life. So he's not able to do work. He's still not able to work at all. He's on disability. But he is doing really good considering everything that his body has gone through over the years. So we consider ourselves very blessed. Every time we have another birthday, we consider ourselves blessed. In the boutique, are all the products in stock that don't say invoice weekly or have a date? How do we know if a product is in stock? Thanks so much for being you and doing what you do. Thank you so much, Judy. Okay, let me give you a little bit of insight on how our company works. First off, I am not a rich woman. This is not a rich company. As I said before, my husband is on disability, and if you know anything about disability, you draw very, very little money. Plus, he goes to the doctor. He goes to 4 different doctors about every other month and has different tests and things run to make sure that, you know, I could go into a big spiel and I could probably talk for an hour about all the things that has happened to him over the years, but he has to have a lot of tests run to make sure that things are working like they should. So that costs a lot of money, and Medicare is what he is on, disability Medicare. It doesn't pay a lot, so you know, it doesn't pay a lot when he has to go to the hospital or in the hospital or anything like that. So basically what I make from the shop is what we, you know, buy groceries with, gas, what little bit, you know, over I pay the house payment and that kind of thing, because he just doesn't get enough money to do that. And so, therefore, this is not a rich company. Plus, I don't have big, huge sales. I am not you know, our warehouse here, or our room here is not huge. So, I can't stock tons and tons of things. Even if I had the thousands and thousands of dollars that it took to buy all of that up front, I don't have the room to stock it. So, what we do is, and we started this a long, long time ago, I stock as much of what we call staple products as I can. Glues, inks, score tape, all of your little tools and things. Those are things that I think are things that everybody is going to want. I stock as many of those as I can keep in stock. Now, saying that, let me say this. Even though I try to stock them, a lot of times the manufacturer is behind them making them. That puts the vendor behind on shipping them. So I might not have something that like this glue, you know, we normally try to keep this in stock all the time. But if I've ordered it a month ago and the vendor still hasn't gotten it to me, then that, you know, that's out of my hands. We post up and sell a lot of brand new products that the companies are just now coming out with. So therefore, those are not going to be in stock. That's why we put pre-order on the albums. When Tammy and Christina load them in, they will either put pre-order or it'll invoice on such and such date in the future. That's because those items are not even at the vendor yet. They're still in the manufacturing stage. So the vendor gives us an estimated date. Now, an estimated date means absolutely nothing. It could mean that it's estimated and it could not. The estimated date is just the date that the manufacturer has given to the vendor. So therefore, if the manufacturer runs into a problem, if their machine breaks down, if something happens and they can't get that product made on that date that they promised to deliver it to the vendor, then it's not going to get there. And when the vendor doesn't have it by then we're not going to get it by then. So we're all in a waiting state here. The vendor, I wait on the vendor. Well, first, you wait on me. I wait on the vendor waits on the manufacturer. So it's just one of those things, we wait and see and we hope that we can get it then. But we try to keep as much in stock as we can afford and as much as our room or our shop here will hold. But no, everything is not in stock. But if you will look at the top of the album, if it says pre-order or if it says estimated date, then those items are something that's brand new that hasn't even come out yet, usually, and that is still in transit somewhere to us. We usually have gone ahead and ordered it, but it's just not shipping to the retailers at that time. I hope that made sense. If it didn't, leave me another question and I'll try to answer it a little bit better. But how do we know if it is in stock? Let's see, how do you know if it's in stock? If it says on the album invoice weekly, then most of all of those things are going to be in stock, because those are things, like I said, that are more staple items or items that the vendor already had and that we could already purchase. So if you look at the album and it says, it doesn't say anything on it except the name of the product, then those items are usually in stock. If it says pre-order or estimated date, then those are not. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps you, Judy. Let me know. Let's see. I have to read this one. This is funny. It's not funny, but it's sweet. Connie Chappell says, I enjoy your video so much. I have learned more of how to measure here than I have anywhere. Bless your heart. I cannot imagine that you've learned anything about measuring from me, because I know very little about measuring. You know how I hate to measure? I hate to measure, but I know how. I just hate to do it. That has been the hardest thing for me to learn. I have done scrapbooking and journaling for a while, but really new to card making. You said in this video that you love to upcycle, but I don't think I have ever seen a video on an upcycle project. I love to decoupage, so my question is there a way you can explain how I can find all your videos? Thank you for taking the time to teach. Okay. There is going to be a way, by this time next week, there will be a way for you to find all of my videos for each individual thing that I have done. I will have all of the videos in categories. So I will have categories of card making, or categories of question and answers, or categories of upcycle projects, that kind of thing. So if you go to YouTube, let me see, if you go to my channel, let's see. Well, I can't find it on my phone, but I will tell more about that next week, exactly how to find. I will have my laptop here so I can show you on the laptop exactly how to find an individual video that you're wanting to look at, and I'll show you how the categories and that kind of thing works. I'll do that next Friday. Here is one from Annette Williams, and she is in Queensland, Australia. Hello, Queensland. She says, do you ship overseas? Yes, we do. We ship all over the United States and any foreign countries, as long as they will allow our products to come in there. So yes, we have shipped to Australia before. I think that was her only question. Okay, Betty Blevins says, how long have you been doing YouTube? She love your videos, especially the upcycles and cards. Do you do Bible journaling? I have been doing YouTube for, this is probably my 4th year, maybe. I think this is 4 years. The first couple of years, I really didn't do a lot on YouTube. I just did a video here and there, and most of those were just haul videos showing what was coming in the store. I really didn't do any kind of projects, but probably 3 or 4 years. But I've only been really serious about it and doing projects for the last couple of years. And do I do Bible journaling? We don't do Bible journaling right now, but if that's something that anybody would be interested in, then just let me know in the comments, and that's something that we could definitely add. Let's see, I think that is all that we have, I do believe. Let me see if I had anything else. Nope, I think that is all for this week, guys. So if you want a question answered, and I will do one more next Friday, and then we'll skip a Friday. If you want any of your questions answered, leave them in the comments below this video, and we will answer those next Friday. And I thank you all for taking the time to write your questions, asking things. I thank you for the wonderful comments that we got. And we will talk to you probably tomorrow. We'll have a project up. If you want to see this project, it's the video right before this one to see how to do this. We will talk to you later. So please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss anything. Bye-bye.